Hello everyone. Today I'm making a video that might be of interest to those who purchase chips off eBay or similar places, particularly retro chips that are used for repair of retro games and retro electronics. Recently I purchased 10 sound chips. They were advertised as new. We can see the chip date of manufacture 0943 and the place of manufacture, it says Taiwan, and of course Microchip is the manufacturer. So being described as new chips, one can easily make the following assumptions about them. First of all, if they're new chips, they should be working. They also should be unused, so they can't have been removed from equipment in the past. Finally, they were advertised as being AY-3-8910A chips, so one would assume that that is actually what they are. So I'll do some testing of all these chips, and to confirm that these three criteria are true, I'll test for the following. First, easy enough, are the chips serviceable or are they faulty? Second, are they new or used? Third, are they genuine chips or are they possibly rebadged chips? To keep track of what's going on during all the different testing phases, I've marked every chip individually. For the first test, testing to see if these chips are faulty or serviceable, I have a test jig here. So essentially I just have an Atmel chip. It's running through a program that tests all the registers inside the test chip here, the chip under test, and the output of this is being fed into this audio signal tracer here, audio amplifier. Let's test the first chip. So this is the first chip we're testing, and already we're having problems. It's not creating the right sounds. Testing chip 2. So this chip seems to be working. I know from just these first two sounds anyway that all the registers are being operated correctly, and we've also heard that it's generating noise, so this chip's fine. Well, we're off to a pretty hideous start. Out of the 10 chips, only 3 work. I didn't show this on video, but I actually went through and tested all the failed ones again just to confirm that it wasn't a fluke, there wasn't any pin misalignment or any connector unconnected or whatever, and confirm the same results. So 3 out of 10 of these new chips work. One way to determine if these chips are new or used is to see if there is any solder residue left on these chips. So a brand new chip, the pins should be the surface of the pin should be really flat. There should be no convex light reflection. And they should be kind of dull as well, not shiny. As you know, solder is kind of shiny, and so what we'll do is we'll have a close-up look at these pins and see if they are actually flat and dull or whether they are convex and shiny. These close-up photos are of the pins of the chips that I purchased, and you can see that there are irregularities in the pin surface. So they're not nice and flat like you'd expect from a new chip, or dull. They are shiny, they have irregularities, and they are convex. That would lead me to believe that these are not new chips, but they've been desoldered from a circuit board. So not new chips, but used. I've checked all of them and they're all the same. So 10 out of 10 failure on that one. So in our final test, we're going to see if these chips are genuine or fake or rebadged. One way we can determine this is to just look at the chips and to see if they're identical or if there are differences. They all have the same laser etched markings. So same date of manufacture, same location, same code number, same manufacturer. But interestingly, the packages are different. You can see they have different mold marks. Some have indicators indicating pin 1, others don't. And on the reverse side, we can see some have numbers, and again we see differences in the mold marks. We have to balance the probabilities here. What's the likelihood, for example, that all of these chips came from the same factory in the same month? I'd say probably not. Given all that, from the physical appearance, we can see that they're probably not genuine chips. But in addition to the visual check, let's see how they perform electrically. Do they match the AY38910A specs, or are they another chip altogether? Let's check. This is what the output of the sound chip looks like on an oscilloscope. We can see that the voltage excursions go down to 0 volts and almost all the way up to 5 volts. One indicator that this is actually an AY38910A chip, or one in that series, is that the voltage goes all the way to 0 volts. In contrast, the Yamaha YM2149 chip, which has pin-to-pin equivalency with this chip, it has an output DC offset of about 2 volts. That means that in this waveform, what we'd expect to see is the waveform not returning to 0 volts between sounds, but sitting at 2 volts between sounds. So this chip is definitely not a YM2149, but is it what I paid for, or is it some cheap knockoff? No one knows. So although these aren't the Yamaha chips, they could be some cheap clone of the AY series chips. In any case, I haven't received what I paid for. So a final look at the score table here. What works? Well, only 3 out of the 10 work, so it's less than 30%. Not exactly a stellar outcome. Are the chips new? In my opinion, none of them are new. I've inspected all the pins, and all of them show signs of having been desoldered from a board, so definitely not new. And can they be guaranteed to be genuine? No. The ones that do work appear to be functionally equivalent to the AY-3-89 series, but that doesn't mean that they're of the same quality. They could be a cheap knockoff. You don't know what you're buying. In any case, I haven't received what was advertised. So in my situation, I'm going to demand a refund. I wouldn't judge other people for what they do. If they receive a chip which obviously isn't genuine, but it keeps their old piece of equipment working, well, you have to weigh up the costs and benefits of that. In my mind, in that situation, the benefit is keeping the old piece of technology working, and that is probably pretty important. On the other hand, if you receive a dud chip and you spend a lot more time and money destroying your unit in the effort of trying to repair it, then that's obviously not a desirable outcome. In any case, I'm going to get a refund, and I hope none of you have to go through this, but given how many chips have failed in my case, I can guarantee pretty much that everyone out there who's bought chips off eBay or AliExpress or wherever has suffered this pain as well. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. If you have any comments, suggestions, or if you've noticed any errors, please leave any comments you have below. If you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate you giving it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and have a terrific day.